Okay, we are recording. If you don't want to be recorded, turn off your audio, video, take off, blah, blah, blah. This is a debate specifically on the fact that we're going to host a debate of recall candidates, and we're discussing how to do that in the best manner. All constructive criticism on how to do this better, please. Any questioning of if we're going to do this or if it's a good idea, we're not doing that. So I'm just giving some guideposts so we have a productive conversation. So with us is Michael Plume Hoff. Plume? Mike, you're muted. Let me
Plum. Plum like the fruit.
Plum Hoff. Okay. Mike works with Nickolas Wildstar. Nick is a registered candidate. We're going to try to get every registered candidate who's already declared to go to this debate so that we can show that we have all of the big time candidates. If we could get them all, and if we could maybe get Kevin from San Diego, then Tom Elias, the person associated with the 2003 recall debate.
Nick's back with us, Marcus. Nick's back with us. Have a look.
Okay. Thank you, Sue. So, blah, 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 2003, Tom Elias, part of the moderator, said, yeah, I'll help out, but you got to get all those big time names. I've been talking with Michael Plumhoff, and I'm just going to call you Mike. Sorry, I'm on my 4th hour debate. My brain is oozing out of my ear. So,
okay,
Mike,
all good.
Is really good at contacting conservatives. Yes, California's going to host the debate. Wildstar is already a candidate. Mike said he'd reach out to conservatives. If we get a bunch of conservatives, we can make a big time deal. So let me stop and turn it over to Mike and Nickolas. Nickolas and Mike, could you walk us through what you think this will be and what you would like to do?
Nickolas, you want to take first chair?
I was going to say, did you want to?
Look at that background. With that background, you got to take first chair.
For sure. Well, hello again, everyone. Nickolas Wildstar, candidate for California governor. And I am a declared candidate. So that means I have an opportunity to run against Gavin Newsom in this wonderful recall that we'll be having here shortly. The signature deadline is March 17th, and it is on way to getting the needed signatures, which is 1.5 million before that day comes. So my proposal to the Yes California board is to basically sponsor a debate between all of the declared candidates. So Michael, Marcus, and myself have been discussing about basically putting together an open forum debate. So this would be open to the public. Yes, California would have about 4 or 5 main questions that all of the candidates would answer, but then after that, it would be turned over to questions from the public. So we were thinking of using a platform like StreamYard, where it's live broadcast, multi-platform. So, and people, of course, viewers are able to ask questions then. So we'll have someone, of course, managing that on the back end, but Yes California will be sponsoring this. Marcus was able to get Tom Elias, I believe, who is one of the coordinators of the 2003 recall effort against Gray Davis, which ended up resulting in Arnold Schwarzenegger being president or governor. But that's what we want to do, is get some people like that involved in the debate. So my campaign's role in this is just to basically play candidates. So I guess I'm wearing 2 hats here, one as candidate and then one as Yes California board member. So as candidate, what I would do, of course, is just be accepting the invitation to get involved in the debate. Yes California, what we want to do is reach out to the candidates, the rest of the other candidates, and also have them accept the invitation before the deadline of March 17th. Or I think Marcus said proposed March 5th. So if we can get all of the candidates on board before March 5th. We can schedule that that debate before then and get it out there. But that's mainly it. Michael, did you want to take it from here?
Okay. Can everybody hear me all right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so my name is Michael Plumhoff, and I've worked on Daniel Berman's presidential campaign. I'm staff coordinator for this guy right here, Nickolas Wildstar. I do private investigation publicity for Daryl Cotton and Keith Taylor. So I'm a salesman. So Malcolm Gladwell in The Tipping Point told us connectors, mavens, and salespersons are the people that get the word out. So that would be my role. And I'm asking to just be the janitor for Yes California, be an assistant. That's all I am. I'm going to be making the phone calls, sending the emails, the texts, and the Facebook messengers, just saying you're invited, you're invited. And just like bad debt, we first collect on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and then we get answers from these people. We're gonna I plan, and it's just proposed, I plan to make the invite so public so everybody will have a chance to say, yeah, I was contacted by that bulldog or that guy, and so forth. Because the key thing is these people gotta, we're gonna make this public, and yet you were invited. Okay, because the big thing, like the reporter, only if you get the big names. Well, how do you get the big names? Nickolas Wildstar's in touch with Rico Lament of Canavision, and I set that interview up. So, with everybody's approval here, we're going to go ahead and get on Canavision. And then there's some other podcasts to get Nickolas on. So as a publicist, and I call myself a pandemic publicist because, I just started this during the lockdown and so forth. And, but sales is my calling and profession. So what I'm here to do is just bang, and in a polite, professional sales experience manner. You've been invited. What's going on? Who are your people? And I'm learning the Hollywood way, I guess you can say it, where you got to be very sensitive and just work your way in there. So with that being said, that's what I really look to do is to get the 7. We got 6 Republicans and 1 independent declared per Wikipedia. And then whoever you guys tell me to go after, I go after and give reports again, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then as we get closer, and you guys will determine my work orders, AM, PM schedule. Hi, good morning, good afternoon, and they're going to hear from us if that's okay. Any questions?
Can I just say wow?
Thank you.
All right, wonderful.
I have a quick
That's how we roll,
question.
baby.
I have a quick
Yes,
question
Miss
for the group. Do we want mayors on our panel of politicians that we can ask about, what are you going to do for California to make it different? What are your ideas? How are you going to lead?
Run for governor. If they're saying they're running for governor, yes. If they're not, no. You have to be saying I'm running for governor.
Okay.
But if they are, yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Michael.
Just the San Diego mayor has been talking. So once again, Yes Cal Exit or Yes California, that's your opportunity working with the janitor here. We can poke them, like, hi, you've been invited. What are we doing here? Are we playing around with the media, or come on out, and have fun with it, but really lock him down. San Diego Zoo, come on, let's get out there. Are you going to come to the debate? So that's one mayor that has I wouldn't say a right to the seat, but has been flapped his gums to the seat. So we're going to invite him to the table, if that makes sense.
Well, that's only, I was saying to them earlier, Mike, that's only if he ends up declaring, because right now he is still undeclared. If you look
Okay.
over Wikipedia. I'll even share that link here with everyone. But there are only 8 declared candidates for the 2022 gubernatorial race. That is 6 declared Republicans, including myself, and 2 independent candidates. So we'll be sending to legitimize the debate. You want to send it out to all of the declared candidates with the Secretary of State. So that'll be sent to all of them, including Gavin Newsom, of course, since he'll end up having to end up being a candidate if he is indeed recalled. So if Mayor Faulconer, if he ends up declaring before we solidify the date for the debate, then we can extend the invitation to him. But another thing we were trying to figure out was, as far as the name of the debate, just off of my experience of being involved in, debates for governor before, the ones that have gained the most traction as far as publicity have just been generally called California gubernatorial debate, just like that. And then attach, yes, California, California gubernatorial debate. Best part is you get to throw in the recall. So that's the spicy part about making it attractive. I know Mike and even my wife was saying about how calling it like the people's pandemic debate, or I think Marcus was saying the coronavirus, the COVID-19 candidates debate. It's focused on the issue that we're not going to be talking about. So again, since we want to be presenting Yes California, of course, gets attached to the name, and then just California gubernatorial recall debate or candidates debate. Yeah.
So
Yes, ma'am.
as I mentioned, I had experience with debates and politics for actually going back 40 years. So I've sort of seen it from the inside. I think, Michael, you're on the right track to contact media. It would be really great to have any network. I don't care if it's Univision or anything other than cable access. Well, actually, cable access TV, even in a small town. But yeah, I think it'd be great to get. I think that's really a good place to start, because once you've got any network, any television, any broadcast unit, once it's clear there's going to be a debate and there's going to be a way people are going to find out about it, then I think you're going to get people wanting to be on it. I don't think it's going to be a problem to get people to participate. Now, as far as Newsom goes on, I wouldn't worry about whether I've actually said this already, haven't I? Last week I said no, don't worry about whether Newsom is in or out. Frankly, I would not expect him to show up. I don't see he's got a lot of advantages, but that's his choice. The point is that there's still the fact that you got these people, 8 people, 12 people, 80 people, who have got, have at least got to be able to make their case of, this is why you want to vote for me after you've decided to recall Governor Newsom. So I just want to say that that's what you should do. Also, as far as branding or marketing, the naming the thing, my suggestion is it's enough. I really urge you to just simply say, yeah, whatever, simple as possible, right? California recall election debate 2021 or something like that, sponsored by Yes California. I think that's more than enough. Just put your Yes California logo somewhere on the title card and leave it at that. We're not trying to name a baseball stadium here, you guys. So that's all. That's my suggestion. So I encourage you, Michael, keep going down this path. But I think you're going, and obviously you're quite adept at this already. So
Yes, he is.
Okay. I'm posting to the chat for everybody. This was roughly what I wrote out for the outline for the invite. You don't have to agree. You can agree. I sent this to Mike and Nickolas a week ago. What does everyone think? Basically, governor's recall debate, or whatever the title is that everyone thinks. Registered and declared candidates for 2022. Every candidate will be asked live on social media. So we have a social media app. where every single person is asked the same 5 questions live on media. So part of the billing is like, we're going to get all these people in front of the camera, and they have to answer this live. You know, so if they make a mistake, they stutter, whatever. So 5 questions. Hannah, let me get through this, please, and then we'll come back for more questions. The 5 questions so far doesn't have to be these. Just trying to go off what I heard from some people. Why does California need change now? It's the recall debate. Why do you have to do it now? What does this recall do to make things better? So why have the recall? How is this making everything better? How would you have handled the pandemic differently? And why are you the best champion of the recall effort? So if we're even having this debate because of the recall, then I was trying to frame the questions on why should we have the recall? Why does it have to be now? How come you're better? How would you have done it differently? Those are the questions that I think a lot of Californians are going to want to have answered. Doesn't mean they have to be the final questions. Just trying to get a draft out there. I do think we need a standard 5 that we ask everybody, and they have to be real questions. We need a standard set of a couple number questions, and it has to be for all of them, and they can't be snowflake questions. I'll leave it there. We can certainly debate. Okay. Yes, Mike, I see your face, so whatever. Hannah had a point, and then Jason. Please keep it specifically.
I know. Yeah, I'm just saying that it's the general tradition of debates is that the moderator or the moderator panel will decide the proper questions. I wouldn't put the actual questions in the publicity, suggesting that this is it. You could say something like that in the blurb. Yeah, I see Michael nodding his head. Yeah, that's basically it. The key is not to put is to say, yeah, just say in general, like these are, like, are you concerned? That maybe you can write around this topic, and in terms of the blurb about telling viewers what they think they should be. But let's not put the cart before the horse. The key is, I think, one, you do want to have a platform of figure how you're gonna broadcast this, however you're gonna broadcast this, and you're gonna have a moderator panel. But that's why you have that's why you have an expert moderator panel. That's why you've got that's why reporters are usually the people on moderator panels. Michael, I think you agree with me on that. Yeah.
Jason Wright, did you have a comment?
Yeah, I hear the thing about not defining the question yet, possibly leaving that to the moderator panel. So I'm keeping that in mind when I say this. Is that maybe one of the questions could be something to the effect of, what do you as a candidate for the governor's seat see as the top 3 to 5 most pressing or biggest issues facing us right now today in California? That way, if someone starts saying, well, I don't think we have enough offshore drilling going on, and I think we need more fracking and less healthcare, those are what I see as the top issues right now. We've got too much regulation and not enough unbridled capitalism, America, right?
Okay. All right.
If they were to start saying that, it's of their own volition. No one's being led into anything, but it also gives each candidate a chance to say what they feel, right? Because everyone sees different things, thinks different things, and some people might be keen on issues that others aren't necessarily already keen on. And it would give a chance for those issues to come to light, rather than just, we're talking about Corona and economy and this and that. To let the conversation maybe take a little more natural shape. That way Californians maybe might feel a little more likely to say, oh yeah, he mentioned that. And so now that it's, the public question time, let me type up this question that's related to that. You know, there's potential that it could bring about.
Okay, thank you, Jason. Sorry, let me take this message. What am I reading here that's really important? Since I nominate her as moderator. Okay, Matt nominates Sue as the moderator. Okay, Michael and Nick, what are your thoughts, feelings? I'm really impartial. Do we announce the questions ahead of time? Do we not announce them? And who wants to figure out the 5 questions? These are just my guess. If people have other ideas, take it from there. I'm really not looking into being on the tiniest edit. This is just to get it going. So Mike and Nick, do we post the questions? Do we not post the questions? And then what are the questions?
Yeah, I see Hannah was making a comment about it being traditional to not reveal the questions. Typically, but I've also been provided questions beforehand for not only debates, but interviews. So it doesn't matter how the candidate ends up preparing their response. You have polished candidates out there that already are well-versed on how to respond to whatever question you may ask. And that's how they should be prepared as a candidate to begin with. So whether you prepare it in advance, but what Jason was just saying actually could add to, I guess, the interactivity of the debate is to ask them more engaging questions. Like I would also want to ask one about California independence. You know, since it is being sponsored by Yes California, why isn't there a question about California independence in there? So you could possibly expand that or just change it around. The questions that you have, slim it down to just 5 main questions that you're going to be asking. But then where Hannah is talking about, where the panel has more fluidity on actually engaging with the candidates. Where they can do that is when it's open to the public and the public starts asking their questions, because those won't be, pre-provided questions, you see? So the candidate will have to have those prepared answers for the few questions that they're going to be asked by Yes California, as if it was, a questionnaire for an endorsement, let's say. And then they also will have the list of questions that they're going to be receiving from the public. And of course, those can be chosen by the moderators or whoever is producing that on the back end. But if it's released on Yes California's Facebook page, it'll be broadcast to their Facebook page, as well as the YouTube channel live simultaneously. So then from there, what's that?
I don't know if we can broadcast live on Facebook. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, but StreamYard.
Yes, California will definitely host the debate after it's recorded. If we can actually stream it live, I'll have to look into it.
Yeah, through StreamYard, because I use the platform myself when I do my live broadcasts. So I can broadcast to YouTube and Facebook all at once.
And BitChute.
Okay, so let's start
and
making
then
some
folks
decisions.
like myself can also host watch parties and share that to other groups and pull in more.
Okay, let's start making some decisions. So I'm hearing a couple questions from the group beforehand and then questions from the audience. Is everyone okay with that? Anybody super opposed to that? Okay, Mike, are you cool with that?
Yep, all good.
Okay, so we're going to do somewhere between 2 to 5 questions that we will not show on the poster, but they will all be asked. They will be picked by the moderators, and then we'll have questions from the audience, and the candidates will have to do both. Is everyone cool with that? Nick, are you cool with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say about 2 hours total as far as runtime, Hannah. She's asking how long will it be? Because I'm thinking between the first group of questions that'll be asked by Yes California, that would be about an hour between getting responses back from all guests, depending on how much time we give them. If you give them 3 minutes of response time, 3 to 5 minutes, um, 2 minute intro, something like that beforehand. Collectively, that's about an hour. And then the audience questions after that, I would say, between that Q&A, it would be about an hour as well. So
I think it also depends. We're going to have to see how many people end up deciding to enter the race, right?
Right.
Because last recall of Davis, there were like, I keep hearing there's something between 50 and 60 at the initial onset, but then within a couple of weeks it had dropped down to a countable number. But if there were 60 people and we gave everyone 1 minute to answer all 5 questions, they would have to speak like an auctioneer, and that would take an hour.
You wouldn't do it that way, Jason. You would ask the idea is usually give people 90 seconds. Figure, therefore, you need about 2
I'm just
minutes.
trying to make the point that
Right.
it's going to partially hinge on how many people enter the race.
Oh, I know. And there were 137 back when Gray Davis was recalled. So obviously it would be, and if you open the door to 137 people, then obviously you're going to have one. That's different. But anyways, I just saying, you also want it to be, punchy. You want it to keep moving. You want to keep viewers' attention. So 90 seconds per question, I think is reasonable. And even if they are going supposedly off the cuff, because remember, they already know roughly what's going to come up the pike. There is such a thing as called debate preparation, and the candidates will spend a good candidate will spend a week on debate preparation. So
Well, just I know we're not going to be limited to like softball questions. Of course not. We wouldn't be doing our job if we weren't. But when it comes audience question time, something we have to be alert to, because it does happen sometimes, are what are called ambush questions. In other words, you'll have somebody planted in the audience from somebody that is really just there to stir the pot. And what they'll do is they'll submit a reasonable question, right? When it comes their turn to ask, that's not the question they're asking. They're asking something just out of the blue. It's totally, how's that murder trial going for you there? That sort of thing.
That's why the moderators.
well, I think I know. There are 2 things. I think,
No, but-
Matt, number one is you shouldn't really allow the public to just get involved in the middle of this thing, because I'm really worried isn't that. That's actually a valid question. The question is what happens if it's something that's openly racist, or
Yes,
the guy
yeah.
starts talking about his church or something
Yes.
like that. This
Yeah,
is
that's
why.
called an ambush question.
Okay.
No, that's not an
jump in.
ambush
No,
question.
it
An
doesn't
ambush
work that way.
question would be something like, my sister was sexually harassed by you, Mr. Candidate. So what do you have to say? That's an ambush question. That's still a valid
Yeah,
question.
Let me jump in.
The question would
Let
be
me
if
jump
it's
in.
something that's
Let me jump
gonna cause an
Jump in.
uproar, such as, like I suggested, someone starts talking about rounding up. We know what I mean. Something that's openly racist or sexist or homophobic, or something
Right, it's
that's
not
just
a question, but it is an
inappropriate.
ambush.
And that's why I strongly suggest you should solicit questions beforehand, and then pick something that's good out of it, or use it to influence your questioning.
If I may, real quick, I'm pretty sure that when you do a live on like Facebook and stuff, the audience participation from the public only really comes through the messaging, through the chat.
Right.
So one could theoretically post whatever they want, and the moderator could then remove it, and it'll show this message has been deleted, right, by the moderator, which usually tells people it's either spam, scam, or some sort of something bad. But then also, it gives a chance for, all of the different questions can be seen and looked through, and then whoever the person is that's like, Mr. Elias, if he's doing this, right? He could then say, oh, wow, this is a really good question, and take it down and let the candidate finish answering. And now that it's on to the next question, okay, so the next one comes from our viewer, so-and-so, such and such.
Right.
Yeah, not to mention the platform that we're going to be using, StreamYard, people are able to make comments, and you can see all of the comments, whether it be from Facebook or YouTube. It's just collected there, but you can't see them during the live broadcast feed until it's actually selected by the moderator. So unless they actually select that one comment, make it live, no one will be able to see it. So they can say whatever they want.
Right.
But let's say if Marcus is the one that's choosing selecting questions from the audience, he'll be going through them. And then if he sees one that he liked, then he just clicks a button and it'll post it live for everybody to see. But
yeah, what I was warning you, back before COVID, what we would do is we would ask any quiet question in the audience, and they wave their hand, and you give them the microphone, right? That's what I'm trying to avoid.
No, you won't have that here with this.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what's right.
It'll be very well coordinated. That's the thing, is there hasn't been a debate like this before because of the coronavirus situation. Is now an opportunity that we can explore. And yes, California would be the first to host such a debate, and as far as the candidates' time, if they can't commit 2 hours to a debate, they shouldn't be served in the state of California. Trust me, I've been in debates that have been longer than 2 hours. But 2 hours shouldn't be that bad. They'll be able to be sitting in the comfort of their own home, just as we are right now, to be able to have the debate, and it shouldn't be any problem, I don't think.
Yeah, and I think that's also, if I may just very, very quickly, that is an amazing point, is that we are pioneering this. Never been really done like this before, and we're going to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's why I think a lot of people would be engaged into it. I mean, if you get one, national publication or even a statewide one to give you a little bit of press, it's going to go far and beyond. And you're going to have tons of people watching the debate, and even afterwards, some other publication is going to, report on it. So it'll be in the headlines one way or another. Anybody got any questions?
I'd like to ask about marketing, because I had initially had this thought of like, one of the main things that has always turned me off about political debates of pretty much any kind here in America is the commercials, the commercialism, the advertisements, the selling. And it's like, we hear one question, the two candidates that they allowed on the stage both like have their little back and forth for 5 minutes, and then we get 5 minutes of commercials. Right. And then when they come back, it's back to their 30 to 60 second, this is so and so with CNN covering the blah blah blah. And do we want to do that, or do we want to make it totally not not a commercial thing?
Exactly. That's another thing that's going to be attractive, especially to those people that are anti-establishment and want to get money out of politics, and actually hear from those candidates that do get ignored by the mainstream media. So it's going to turn a lot of people's heads and garner a lot of attention for Yes California. So I think it'll be easy as far as marketing is concerned. It's just a matter of everybody pulling their weight, getting out there, making it happen, because Jason is right. It's going to be kind of like a grassroots effort. So if people start seeing that, hey, we the people, we're the community, we're in charge of this, then they'll start spreading the word among each other. And that's what we really want, is kind of just let people know that you're in control of this debate, not big corporations, not big media, you know, not big sponsors, none of those people. It's just we the people powered. So um, let people know, hey, spread this post. We definitely got to put together a nice flyer, you know, and get it out there. But if we can have all of the members on social media share that flyer at least once on their own page or in the group, then that'll get the ball rolling.
If I could just explain how I'm seeing this, one, we are going to promote it as commercial free. Two, we really need to address no one has been bought and paid for, or we have to come up with the proper verbiage to kind of, Californians are pissed off. Californians have been abused. So sell to the pain is a common sales tactic. So that's what we're going to be doing, is selling to the pain, and that's how we're going to get masses. The
Right.
last thing is it's going to start with alt media, and we're going to shame, or again, you have an open invite, but part of the 160,000 peoples of Yes Cal Exit, as we move forward, we can develop swarm teams and pick out Fox News or certain radio and television stations. And a swarm is a tactic to do a Zoom call with 6 people and just bang phones, emails, text, and websites. So we got a strategy to market. Okay. Besides, hey, share content. No, it's going to be very systematic and very regimented. The key thing is, do we have your help? Do we have your assistance? Are you bought in to really be a unique, one of a kind event, truly Californian? And I'm seeing run times. This is a major, motion picture, 120 minutes. If you can't sit through 120 minutes, get out of California. Okay. So we can kind of play into Tinseltown. Okay. And just boom, keep that 120-minute there. And then, like, how dare you, so we got a lot of things to offer, and just get permission, or hey, that's a little salty, or okay, that's a little aggressive. Okay, everything will be presented and, like, give me orders. Just run like a military or a Roman campaign. What are the orders? And this is how we're going to march. So just feel comfortable knowing that that's how this is going to be set up, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that answers it pretty well between the two of you right there. I'm glad to hear that, and for the Roman approach, like, it's California, and for Californians, and as you stated, right, and that's the approach that we're taking to it. That's our Roman stance. That's our orders, right?
Right on. SPQR, baby. We have the empire, and you guys are one of the strongest states in the union. Act like it, versus all this drama, that we've been having to live through. It's time for Californians to be represented through this debate. And see how that just flows? It just flows, So many people are just raging right now. No one's speaking for me, right? Tell this Marylander, hillbilly, West Virginia guy wrong. You guys need voice. And that's what this entire remote debate, governor recall, I like the recall part, the governor's recall debate, and just get it out there. And people are like, wow, this is alternative. And so through the podcast and the independent and the bloggers, they're going to be the kindling to set this project on fire.
Oh yeah, and once we get the candidates locked in, then they're going to do their thing as far as getting more publicity for the debate also. So for instance, on the candidate side, once everybody is locked in the date and time, I'll be having my publicity team start sending out press releases to the media and, you know, my base of supporters, et cetera, and it'll be promoted by each and every individual candidate. So if any one of them were to able to get any type of national press over that or major media exposure, then that of course is going to bring more attention to it as well. But the grassroots part of it is definitely going to make it a great attraction to the people that Michael is talking about. Frustrated people here, not only across the country, but here in California that wants to turn things around and get something done already.
Okay, can I jump in real quick? Just so that we're getting some housekeeping done. So we're gonna come up with 3 to 5 questions. We won't share the 3 questions. 3 questions. Thank you, Mike. Then we will have questions from the audience, but the moderators will pick those questions. So there's nobody just directly speaking. Is that okay? Moderators pick public questions. It will be live. We are not advertising the 3 questions in the flyer. Is that right, Mike?
No, I thought we were. We
You
were
want to
going to
advertise
drop
the
the
3
3 questions out there, okay? And no DNC or no, let people know the 3 questions. And we got to really make sure we're tight on those questions because I know you had 5 or more, but it's really, you know, so 3 questions, get those out, and then the audience questions, and we're part of the audience as well, you know. So as the weeks go by, we'll be able to formulate. It's all about efficiency, you know, and that's something that surveys are very important. You got the 160,000 members out there, right? Yes, California. Well, why don't you say what are your questions ahead of time? Get that in.
Nice. 3 questions. Ask Yes California people, what do you want them to be asked?
Roger.
Okay.
Sue?
Yeah, Marcus, before we get too much further, when are we going to have our next meeting about this debate?
I don't know. Whenever this group says we should meet again. That's why we're meeting here. Is that so we have the board meetings will be Sunday at 11, and certainly we can discuss it there. But because we just got the Zoom channel, we're now able to have conferences on subtopics whenever we want. So Mike, Nick, whenever you guys want to meet again together to debate this, this Zoom link that you have is yours. It's everybody's. The only thing we ask is that Sundays at 11 to 2, you know, that's the board meeting. So Nick, Mike, Jason, Stephen, Sam, Sue, Hannah, if you're like, hey, we need to have a discussion working on this project, grab the Zoom link and use it. Don't ask, just get moving. So that's what it's for. 2 minutes, 90 seconds to 2 minutes per response, Mike, I think you were saying?
Yes. 90 seconds I'm liking, and Hannah, you know, the sauce has already been cooked before, you know, and we got to make sure people understand point of order and just be civil, be professional, get your point across. This is nothing about drama. It's about being prepared, and the clowns will be the clowns, but then the ringmasters will be able to run the show.
Okay, and we will talk about who's going to be on the moderator panel Sunday. We'll have a vote by the board. Obviously, Nick, you're going to be influencing it, but because you're taking some of the questions, we'll have to walk a line there so that we appear fair to everybody, because you're both a candidate and a board member. So we'll have to.
Well, the questions that's going to be provided to all of the candidates, that's going to be the main questions being asked by Yes California, correct? After that, it's going to be a matter of, you know, those received from the public. So I won't know any of those, but all of the candidates that will be there will be well aware of what, you know, the panel will be asking beforehand. So if you want, you can make it 5 questions, just 5 key questions, and then let the candidates know we're going to be asking you 3 out of the 5. That way they don't know which one of the 5. I mean, that's happened to me
Peekaboo.
before in a debate.
Sure.
Yeah.
Everyone
So
okay with that?
That's one answer. That's one approach. Say, but I want to
That's
say
a
overall,
nice
Michael.
dice.
Michael, are you comfortable just simply be taking responsibility for the organization of this potential debate, and then because
Damn right,
you're
sister.
here to get some input and then move on and go out and do your own thing?
Yep.
that's
Yeah,
the
good.
I'm
plan.
not, you know who I work with. I don't work for, but I work with, and I'm being invited in to Exit Yes California. So Marcus is going to be my lead on this, and Nick, well, he's a guest. So my focus is working with Marcus on how to rep and warrant. And be, like I said, be a janitor. I'm here to set up the event. I'm here to close out the event. So that's just where
I
it
think
is.
of it, I think more kind of like a lieutenant, but well, not even that. No, but anyways, I'm just saying that leave it to the other candidates to complain about the fact that you're friends with Nickolas, who's one of the participants in this thing, because the overall you're going to make sure that it's fair, and as long as you make sure it's fair, and you've gotten some input from outside world like us, I think I hope there's a consensus that we have confidence in this man to take charge and move out.
A couple more
Yeah, I
confirmations.
can state very clearly, just given our first interactions here, what I've heard and everything, I am fully confident I would trust Michael to spearhead this and, take lead.
Okay,
Thank you.
Mike, you got a lot of confidence there. Moving on, a couple housekeeping things. So it's going to be live. There will be moderators. They will pick 3 of the 5 questions. Yes, California will ask our 160,000 people what 5 questions. There will be questions from the audience. The moderators will also pick that. Next Sunday, we will vote on who will be the moderators. Sue's running, Hannah's running, I'm running, anybody else that wants. And we will try to get this done as soon as possible. It'll be on, Mike, what's the name of the app? StreamYard?
StreamYard. Yes, sir.
StreamYard. But then it will be posted on YesCA. If anybody has suggestions for the questions, send it to me. What are we calling this again, Nick? I think you had the right phrasing, the best phrasing for this. What do we call this?
California Governor's Recall Debate. Yeah, California Governor Recall
Debate.
Yeah.
GRD, baby.
Debate.
Governor of California Recall Debate. Grand Theft Auto, we got the GRD. Look out.
GRD, nice, like that. Okay, and then we're going to shoot. Mike, what do you need from me to be able to start approaching conservatives, sir? What information?
Well, I think the press release, the press release or the invite. We talked about the invite, and it's like the 5 W's. And are you guys comfortable with the tech side? Because a lot of people, because of the pandemic, I want to make sure that there's dress rehearsal and it's not hodgepodge. It's not half-ass. Okay. So, you guys, if we're going to be doing StreamYard, we got to get comfortable with this and we got to practice. It's just like shooting. Drill, drill, drill. We got to practice putting this off and be professional. That's what people are concerned about, right or wrong.
They are. I will repeat what I said. Yes, California will post the recording. We will definitely figure out how to be there to participate. Getting all of the candidates to download StreamYard, agree to use it, that's on your end, brother. Because if you're approaching them, you're asking them for a new app.
Well, that's the thing. You don't have to download it. You just send them out.
No, you just tie in.
And it's just
Okay.
like Zoom.
I'm just saying, I'm not going to sell
Welcome
these
to the
candidates
studio.
on this new app.
No, I got talking to the people, and the handlers. Okay. But what I need is good copy, good imagery, and the excitement and also a little bit of the salt or a little bit of the heat, a little bit of the anger. It's like, why aren't you showing up here, Chachi? What's going on, Scooter? When are you going to be there? This is your chance now. You got 160,000 people, and it's time, to end this madness. We are free people. We are not slaves. So why do we have what we have currently going on? So let the people speak. And through press release and good graphics and, maybe request interns, for marketing. We gotta teach the younger generation, or we gotta teach people. So kind of keep that in mind. Hey, are you interested in interning for GRW or GRD? What's that all about? And boom, we need you. And the more we can grow this as an educational and a public outreach, the better. That's just my thoughts.
I will get a draft press release to you by Wednesday. Who, what, when, where, why. Super sexy. And then we can go from there. So you can redraft it. We'll edit it, but I'll get a draft up like what we're roughly trying to try to sound as cool as possible. I'll get that to you by Wednesday. Am I missing something on basic homework and housekeeping that we need to knock out? Basic questions we need to address?
Let me, if I can, we're in the political environment, so we're making sausage right now. So, you don't want to know how the sausage is made, just care about the end product. So we're going to be fumbling and bumbling, but just keep it professional, keep the emotion out of it, and just like, how did I serve the project best today, if I can say anything.
Sue? Thanks, man.
Hey, if you guys are considering another meeting at any time after this one, could you fill me in on that, on exactly when, and send me an invite? I did, what I'll do is I'll put my email address in the chat box now, so you guys can do that, because I'd like to be in on that with you guys.
So I'm assuming the people who want to be involved is Mike, Nickolas, Sam, Jason, Sue, and Hannah. I'll include that as an email list. Oh, and Matt. Yes, I will send out an email with notes for this team.
Oh, Jason, could you put the question that you asked in the chat box? Because that was a good question. I think that would be a really good one to ask. Because it was very broad, and like he said, it would kind of promote more questions from the audience based on what each candidate responds.
Answer me these questions 3 areas.
Okay. Any other housekeeping things we're missing from anybody? Anybody like, hey, we need to decide this, we need to get that done. Strictly housekeeping, any issues? Anything we're missing while we're here? Okay. Then I think we're good. It's going to be live on StreamYard. It will be 3 questions. We're going to tell people, we're going to give them 3 out of the 5. We'll figure out what those questions are. Yes, California asking 160,000 people. They will get 3 out of 5 questions, 2 minutes per question. We will have a vote next Sunday at the board meeting on who's going to moderate. And we're going to call it the California Governor Recall Debate. And I will get a press release out on the who, what, when, where, why to the group, and Mike and Nick can do the final editing, and I'll send it to you, and you go, no, switch this, change that, and I'll do all that work and send it back to you, and we'll make it beautiful.
Sounds good.
Okie dokie.
Thanks for the meeting.
Anybody else?
Thanks for your patience, folks.
Sam, thanks for coming out. Appreciate it. You will be included. Any other last minute comments from anyone?
Ain't nothing to it but to do it.
What he said. Thank you all for your time. Have a great weekend.
Much love, everyone. Stay safe.
Absolutely.